Good morning. What's up, y'all? Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the Sorry Shoe Podcast. It's your boy ARP. We are here. Got some topics that we got to go over. We got some fun things to talk about. You know how we do. So everybody's coming in at this point. I hope y'all are being productive. Hope y'all enjoying your weekend so far. I'm gonna catch you up with how my weekend's going so far. Give me a second. Ah, ah. I knew yesterday was gonna be a storm. I knew it. I knew it, man. But I pretty much got almost 88% of everything I wanted to accomplish yesterday. About 88% of it, I got it all done. So as far as the contractors that came in while we were streaming yesterday morning, I'm like displaced for like a piece of my house right now. What I'll tell you what it is. I don't think I said any details yesterday. So this place that I'm in now, I'm notorious for buying a home, moving into a place, doing a lot of work inside the place, inside and outside. And if I'm staying there, I'm staying there. Or I might sell it, right? But I just do a lot of upgrades when I'm in a property. And this property is no different. Um, all the floors, and this is not a small place by far. Like all the flooring, every level, redone. All the paint, all the walls, entire, in everything done. Exterior painting, even that. I did a lot of work in this place. Some reconstruction. It's the thing about demolition. So the work that's getting done right now, there's an area of my floor where it's tiled and it doesn't match the main areas of floor, right? And the color of it always kind of threw things off a little bit. So it's just an area of the house that needs to be, and plus it needed an upgrade anyway. And there's some other areas that in there that's going to be touched up. So I said, let's knock this out. Let's get this done. So when they came in here yesterday, and it's got two entries into it. It's got like two doors on each sides of it, and it's got another door that leads outside. So it takes me out of that convenience of how I come in and out from that place. Then there's stuff in between that I use and I need, and it's also a pass through. Now I got to reroute, but it's all taped off now. It looks like a fucking outbreak. You got like the horror movies and shit, and they got like the patients in there. It looks like everything got plastic around and shit, like the Motaba from the breakout from the outbreak movie with the monkey and shit. That's what it looks like. And I went upstairs, after they set up shop and they started ripping up the ground and everything. And I was just like, here we go again, man. Like, here we go again. We at it. But I think the job is going to be done by Wednesday, they're telling me. Okay. So a little displacement, little rerouting for now, a little inconvenience, but that's part of the game. And when it's all done, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be happy because these folks have done a lot of work for me. And they're very, very good at what they do. They're the primary contractor for my boy. When you hear me say the name Aaron a lot on my streams, that's one of my closest peoples. Um, grew up with him. He's like a brother to me, is a brother to me. And he does a lot of work for them too. This group of contractors. So between the two of us, like we even exchanged experiences. Hey, he did what for you outside? Shit, let me get that done. Yeah, he's over here right now, ripping up my stairs, doing oh, word, did your patio? Shit like that. So that was a big piece of my morning. I did get the gym in. Um, Baseball game success. It was a blowout. I got home. I ran some errands after that as well. I got home and I started to try to catch up with what was going on in the games. How the hell do you go from almost 90% of the sports analysts in the world saying that the Thunder is about to just straight sweep the Wolves, and then you get blown out by like 42? Did they lose by 42 last night, the Thunder? How do you lose by 42? So it's a weird series right now, but it is the good series that we are waiting for. Ant-Man versus Shea, right? Why not? It's supposed to be an exciting series, but how do you get demolished game one and game two and then come back and then beat this team by 42? As you could say that it's because they was on the road. They finally went on the road. I ain't going for that. 42, nah, that's a different ball game. Who's losing by 42 out here? But interesting series. I'm also gonna get to Mission Impossible today. I can't wait, man. I've been waiting. Like I said, I want to see it Friday, sold out. And then yesterday, I believe, was only like seats in the front. I was just like, I probably can't fit it in my schedule today anyway, or yesterday. So I got my tickets already for today. I'm in there. My man Dr. God called me yesterday. He told me how crazy the movie is, but what Mission Impossible is bad. They're all good. So I can't wait to see this joint today, man. I really can't. I hear it's a long movie, but there are a lot of them. A lot of them is long, right? And this is the first time that Mission Impossible did one of the movies as a continuation, right? Pretty much we know what the gist of him and his team is, right? I guess underground special agents or whatever, just fighting espionage and saving the world, right? That's the whole series for the most part. But the last one that came out, the previous one, it ended with like a to be continued, right? And that was a long movie. That was like for like 2+ hours, maybe, right? So this is a continuation. And Doc tells me yesterday, he says, this is probably the one in the series the most that feels like you have to know some of the previous Mission Impossibles because you could almost watch any of them and it feels like it's bundled up and you'll walk away totally understand everything. But this one is a continuation. So I'm looking forward to that. I've avoided all clips. I've avoided all teasers. I've avoided all spoilers. I don't know if this is supposed to be the end. I don't know if Tom Cruise dies. I don't know shit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know. All right. So chat, please spare me. Don't put nothing crazy in it if y'all seen it. But I know it's gonna be good. It's Mission Possible. What else is going on this weekend to close out? After the movies, I am gonna get to the mall. I couldn't make it to the mall yesterday. I gotta get some shopping done. Definitely gotta get some shopping done. And that's gonna close out my Sunday. So tomorrow, on tomorrow morning stream, I will let y'all know how I feel about Mission Impossible. All right. And the Knicks play tonight, right? Hope they lose. Why is the New Yorker saying he hopes the Knicks lose? I never gave a fuck about the Knicks. I've always despised the Knicks. So shout out to Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. They're doing their thing, but get these guys out of here, man. Put them out of their misery. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing for the last 20 years. Getting all the New Yorkers' hopes up. Everybody starts going crazy, tearing up the fucking streets, and then y'all lose. So what's the point? All right. What do we got today? We got I'm gonna start off with battle rap talk again, like we did yesterday. A little bit of battle rap talk. I want to talk about something that I disagree with. There's pros and there's cons to it too. I'm gonna blend Calico's event into it. And I also want to talk about the big battles that's left. All right. I'm going to try to run those off and see if I miss any. And I'm going to also come to the chat and see if y'all can help me with that too when I get to that point. We got to talk about some conspiracy theories. And I'm going to pull Tory Lanez updates into that. And I'm going to pull Drake into that when we go into the conspiracy route. What else are we going to do today? We're going to do a fun topic that came out of the checks and balances chat room about old versus new as it evolves to the new era of society. Right? What the hell are you talking about, ARP? We'll get there when we get there. And as promised, and as always, on Saturdays and Sundays, I got some DVDs that we got to talk about, and I got some music that we got to talk about. Okay. So shout out to everybody that's coming into the chat. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the whole chat. I appreciate y'all. All right, let's kick things off with battle rap. Let's go. Let me pull up Calico's event. And let me start by saying shout out to Black Mafia Battle League. Presents Spring Cleaning. They had a pay-per-view yesterday. And the initial lineup was Aver versus JC. Finally, a long brewing grudge match that the battle rap culture has been waiting years to see. Charlie Clips versus Osolo. If you look at that battle on paper, you expect it to be extremely entertaining. Both of these guys are very capable of just. I see why that matchup is made. That's one of those matchups that makes a lot of sense. Like they definitely do different things. You got a freestyler. You got somebody that kind of does the humorous sarcasm, right? But Charlie Clips could be very humorous as well. So you never know if that's going to be just a hilarious battle. But I got some things to talk about with that particular match when we get to that. Coffee versus Bailey Lee, Chess versus Selly Cell, and Mac Myron versus Capo. And if I look on the left, it looks like 2 battles was canceled, which was New Jersey Twerk versus whoever this is underneath, and Big T versus Fonz was on the card. Okay. All right, so there's two, one, two, three, four, five, six battles, and two of them were lost. All right. I don't know why they were lost. And shout out to Calico, man. It's being a league owner. What fucking event doesn't have a battle that gets lost, right? It's like a 85% batting average. It's I don't know. I don't know the details, so I'm not gonna speculate, but I know battle rap so well. There's just so much bullshit. There's fuck shit, there's last minute shit, there's fuck shit that happens on the league side. There's fuck shit that happens on the battler side. My dog ate my homework. I missed my flight. I was just check collecting. I'm not ready. I can't make it. People lie on their kids. This is what just happened with my son. This is just what happened with my daughter. I got literal proof of that type of shit. Like I got literal screenshots of that shit. Stories that would make you motherfuckers say, wow, I could never look at that battle rapper the same. That is crazy what that person just did. And I just know so much. So when I see the cancellations, I'm like, are we not numb to it at this point? When a fan, and this isn't about Calico, shout out to Cal. When a fan purchases a card, in battle rap, such a shitty space business wise and integrity wise, you got to go into it knowing that you might not get what you paid for. We're kind of at that point. Well, did I just say we're kind of at that point? What is wrong with me? I'm tripping. We have been at that point. What the fuck was wrong with me right there? What was that? Why did I say that? I'm tripping. My bad, y'all. But for the battles that did happen, what I see here, Averb and JC. So I think about 40% of the battle yesterday, and I did not buy the stream. As we now move into topic one about battle rap that I intended to shoot for today. Let's go big screen for a second. How did I see 30, 40, 45% of the battle and I didn't buy the pay-per-view? And ARP, why didn't you buy the pay-per-view? All right, let me start there, actually. I didn't buy the pay-per-view. I don't know if I would have bought it last night. Worst case scenario, if I would have bought it, I've done it a million times. I would have just paid whatever it was, $30, $40, $50, $60, whatever. And I probably would have watched the main event. And if there was anything else that I wanted to catch up on, I heard about later on, because I don't be wasting too much time on battles these days. Like you can't just put any old card in front of me and I'm gonna watch every battle just because I bought the stream. Like I buy a lot of streams, and the only time and the only thing I watch is the main event. That's my money. People say you wasting your money. I mean, like that's on me. That's my problem. And if I hear things about other matches that's already on what I purchased, like I'll go and replay the VOD. So I probably would have bought the stream last night, if for nothing else, to see Aver versus JC. If for nothing else, that's the main event. That is the sale. That is the grudge match. That is the battle that has the history. That's the one that if you're a battle rap fan, it turned your eye when you found out, oh shit, that's going down. Cool. I want to see that. That would have took my money. So ARP, why didn't you buy it last night then? Even if you was going to watch it this morning, why didn't you buy it last night then? I didn't know what was happening yesterday on everything. I didn't know it was going down. How did I find out about it? Two places. I did see a Chris Unbiased blog come down my timeline as I scrolled my YouTube. I watch a lot of Chris's content, so YouTube puts him in my suggestions a lot, right? As return viewers. That's how YouTube works. If they see that you watch something, they'll put it in front of you and try to see if you're a returned viewer, right? We have these type of analytics on our channels. So I watch a lot of Chris's content. And I saw that and I saw the title and I was just like, oh, it's today? I didn't know. Later on in the night, as I was just sitting back, watching TV last night, and I'm scrolling my Twitter, I also start to see clips. That's how I saw about 35 to 40% of the battle. Now, promotion. I'm already on record saying at this point, league owners are by definition of the word insane to expect good promotion from an entire card, from the people that are being booked. It's over. This is a 10 plus year of begging for promotion and posts and trailers or spaces or interviews or it's over. Like I don't have that expectation anymore unless it's a handful of battle rappers. I know when I see them get booked, especially on certain leagues, right? I know I'm gonna hear a lot of ruckus. I know I'm gonna see a promo run, right? But that's just a handful or two. The whole rest of the culture, and I know the league has a responsibility as well of putting this in front of people. But the thing is, the leagues and the way battle rap is, it's not like a party promotion lane or like let's say a concert or something. Like these promoters in like the entertainment space that work with like let's say music artists and shit. The music artists pretty much put it up on his story, put it up on their Instagram, and that's pretty much everything. But their draw power is different. If you put Ti's face on a flyer, the club might get sold out tonight, even if it's just a walkthrough. Special guest Ti, not even a performance. That's a star in that world. In our world, our stars can't do that. There's stars on this card, and I didn't know about it. New Jersey Twerk is one of the biggest stars in battle rap history. Averb is one of the biggest stars in battle rap history. People argue him on the Mount Rushmore. JC is absolutely a star and a legend in battle rap. Oh, Solo, a legend. Coffee Brown, did she win a champion of the year? She won one of them, right? Coffee Brown is one of the biggest female battlers on the scene now and has created one of the biggest names in battle rap for herself. Chess, one of the most talented. I mean, his name is extremely known. His talent levels through the roof. Selly Sell, Bailey Lee. Oh, I see it on this side now. I don't know them. Capo, I haven't really watched him, but I hear his name. And I know Mac Myron, of course. Mac Myron is extremely talented, right? The clips that I saw, even on Twitter, it doesn't seem like the biggest turnout, right? It could have been that's what he's shooting for. Calico could have been shooting for a small. So I don't know. But why do I not hear about it until I scroll my Twitter or I see a Chris Unbiased blog pop up? And I click Chris's blog, and you know what he's in there? He's complaining about the promo. He was like, and he's showing the battle rappers that didn't even post the flyers that were booked on the card. So because battle rappers don't, their names alone rarely create that type of draw the way it can for a party promoter that's booking like a music artist or something like that. In battle rap, to get our fans to come shop with us, in battle rap, to get our fans to pay attention, in battle rap, to create energy, we need the battlers to actually be in front of the promoters, i.e., platforms or league owners. We actually do. And this is nothing new. You know, we praise Averb for doing what he did with A Ward. We praise Hitman and Geechee for what they did for the card of the year last year. We praise a T-Rex or Cassidy or who else, or Snake Eyes or Rosenberg Raw, people that are extremely good and entertaining in face-offs. We praise these people. We praise Jay Black for bringing people to do face-offs on his platform. We praise the leagues for giving us pre-recorded face-offs. We get mad when no face-offs go down. We praise the leagues that do the press conferences or the face-offs or the streams the day before because we need it. We want to be interested, but we want a reason to be interested because battle rap stars do not carry automatic draw. Once again, how many stars are on this card? And there's people in battle rap that probably didn't know about the card happening. Okay. And this is a good card. He's got some great talent on great battlers, legends, and goats on this card, and a grudge match, and a long-running history match, Averb and JC. So the promotion of this, I don't know what the fuck happened to the point where. Now let me get to the second piece of that topic. Now, this is where people can start to ask the question. When I said earlier, I saw about 35-40% of the battle on Twitter as I was scrolling. I'm like, oh shit, it did happen. There goes JC and there goes Averb, and I didn't even pay for it. Right. Here's the bad thing about that. And I'm not going to say the platforms that I saw it on mostly because they're pretty commonly put up these type of clips, right? It's a good and it's a bad. The bad is What if I'm the type of fan that just saw 40% of it? Or what if I didn't see anything that made me go, oh shit, oh, let me go buy the rest? What if? Right? And then I saw that and now I'm full. You know what I'm saying? I done sat down, I ate, and now I'm full. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be hundreds of people, maybe even thousands of people online that are seeing the same tweet that I saw or tweets that I saw yesterday, right? And that man could lose money. You see, Hitman, he said, "Oh no, 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 no. I'm a student of the game. I know the game. I've been here forever, but on this league on the side, I'm a student of the game. Hell no, I didn't see these other leagues take these L's from allowing like 15 minutes of fame or hip hop is real, put up clips that I feel formatted in a way that might detract from my sales. There's got to be a middle. There's got to be a middle. Okay. Do these Twitter accounts or these media platforms or the 15 minutes of fame of the hip hop, do they help sales and promotion? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. But for me to scroll my Twitter and see 35 or 40% of the battle, I'm talking about like one of the clips that I saw that I clicked on, it was like 2 minutes of like Verb's round. Another one, like 2 minutes plus of JC's round. Anybody ever see me on Twitter every once in a while, like hitting somebody up that has posted an RBE clip, and it's not even these days, it's not even for something that's on sale, like Calico's event. It's something that's just from footage that's already out, a battle that's already went down. But we want to try to maintain our own content. And you see, we even re-release our own clips. So me try to play middle with people that support RBE. What do? I hit them up. And 9 times out of 10, I hit them in private. Do me a favor, man. Scale that back. Do like a 20-second clip. Your platform, if you into clipping battles or whatever, that's how you run your platform. Dope. So you still get to use RBE content. I still get to maintain my fan base, understanding that the content that I paid for and worked hard for, possibly lost out on, it's still centralized to the person that might have took an L for it, or still taking back what he deserves or earning what he deserves from it. Content that I paid for, content that is trademarked. You know what I'm saying? Content ID, all these type of things that I have rights to legally. You know what I'm saying? So I be requesting people, yo, man, just like I fuck with you. Thank you for the support, but scale that back to like 20 seconds for me. And there's been people that even, oh no, I got you. And they keep going. And then next thing you know, they do it again. I literally have a thread. It was one of the most ridiculous situations I've ever seen. I text the screenshots to Chris on by so he could see it, and he laughed. He was like, wow, I can't believe it. It was a fucking a person, I forget who it was. I could pull it easy up in my Twitter DMs. This person tweeted, I'm no longer something about RBE, like lashing out at RBE, like saying that yo, they I lost my page, or they took down like complaining. And I have a thread with this person. I texted to Chris and I said, and I never addressed him publicly. I said, this fuck nigga. He's a bitch for what you just did. The thread in our DMs is me hitting him up. It's the most nice I could be to somebody. I said, hey man, appreciate the support, man. Can you do me a favor? Hey man, scale that back. He's, oh no, I got you. Then it's like a second time it happens. Hey man, you got another one. Remember I spoke, man. Do me a favor, scale that back. Oh yeah, my bad, I forgot. Yeah, let me scale it back. I'll take that one down. I got you. Third time, it's like 4 times in like the same thread. And I'm like, yo, at some point, I got to be like, you punking me. Like, I've been nice. I've been respectful. I've been supportive back in your direction. Why the fuck do you keep doing what we discussed 3 times already? Oh, yeah. What? So now when I say, all right, yo, Quarter Lab, take that shit down, man. And if something happened to the account, I don't give a fuck. This person is literally disrespecting me and in so many words saying, fuck you. Right? And then something happens, or maybe account, or maybe the footage gets taken down by force now, and you got the nerve to come on Twitter and complain. I sent the screenshot to a couple bloggers, like, it was like, damn, ARP, look at this guy talking this shit. And I was just like, read the thread. I'm at a point where I own this shit, yet I'm begging him to comply with my requests. The fuck? I don't have to do that. but I did. You know, but anyway, the thing about it is I could say the pro to it is if I didn't see Chris blog pop up, then the only thing that would have alerted me to this event is those clips there. So then that's the pro. The con is I seen too much. Maybe I'm full and maybe I don't buy it now. So what's the middle grounds? Calico, leagues, for any platforms that post your content, especially when it's on sale, especially. First of all, they should check in. They should check in. Hey, man, I'm supporting you. I support your platform. I want to be able to put clips up of your content. And then the league owner say yes or no. You can look at their profile. You can see if they've been supportive to other leagues, supportive to you before, see if what their track record looks like, what type of content they post. Are they clowns? Are they good people? Are they supportive? Are they just leeches? You can take a look and be like, oh, you know what? I see your profile, what you're doing out here. Now it's all good. But you got to set that standard too. Hey, don't go past 30 seconds. I shouldn't, on the day that the shit is on sale, scroll down and see 2 minutes of a main events round and then more clips as well. I shouldn't be able to. That's just too fucking much. You're making people not need to buy it. So shout out to Cal. Cal, I'm not the only person that's saying this. I already saw an example of that from, big bloggers like I mentioned prior. It's not just Cal's fault. It's not just his league. It's every league, man. The lack of promotion is just something that we just have never been able to really nail down consistently. I just didn't know it was even happening yesterday. And then the clips hurts and helps to a degree, but definitely can hurt. So, two topics I want y'all to pay attention to. All right. Staying on battle rap for a second because you had the A-Verb and the JC that happened last night. I think everybody should go check that out. All right. Don't go scour Twitter for clips. Everybody go support and check it out. All right. A-Verb versus JC actually going down. It continues to remind us that there are significant battles left that we want to see. I said this to a couple bloggers, and I said to Holla too a couple weeks ago. I said, yo, Hitman versus Mook is so good, and yet it's going to also hurt the culture. What do I mean by that? It's so good because to me, it's the biggest battle remaining. As far as grudge, as far as history, two God tiers. It could change some of the rankings between them, the outcome of this battle. There's a lot of tie-ins to it. The history it's Hitman, Holla, and Murder Mook. Like you kind of need a combination of like just 5 people in battle rap, and depending on which matches you're making, those are the biggest joints. It's going to be a combination including probably Holla, Mook, Lux, maybe Cassidy and some of them, and Surf. Right. And there's another tier that's like right there on their heels. And I don't got to try to say those names because if I miss any, yo, you forgot this person. But you know what I mean when I say like these are the biggest draws and they have some of the biggest prints on battle rap history. Hitman, Mook, Lux, Cassidy is still Cassidy. Hate him or love him. I got the numbers to prove it. I think it's it might be the biggest battle rap stream in battle rap. Cassidy versus Hitman. You know what I'm saying? Like we could put the numbers, we could talk, people. If behind the scenes you want to hit me up, we could discuss it, from a business standpoint. I'm not competing. So Cassidy and Surf. You know what I'm saying? And if you mix and match those guys for the most part, now I know some of them got other big battles outside of that group, and I'll get to that. But once that battle is over, once you get to the end game, normally you cut the video game off. You get it? If I see Hitman versus Mook, and then if I see Daylight versus Lux, right? If I saw those battles 7 years ago, what it does is it raises my anticipation. Oh, what else? What else is going on? 7 years ago, that's what those two battles does for me. It takes battle rap it moves it up, which is what Hitman and Mook does and will do. It takes battle rap as a whole culture and industry. It moves it up, right? And then battles like that will leave it there for a certain period of time. Like, let's say if you got like a Summer Madness 2, it takes battle rap, it moves it up a notch, and it leaves it there for a certain amount of time. And what do I mean by leaving it there? Meaning that the way that the industry looks at it, media, bloggers, people's views are up, people's recap numbers is doing better, people's Twitter and social media engagement is up, the battlers are making more money, the YouTube views are greater, the pay-per-view sales are greater, there's more people in the building, right? But that's like years ago. Now, because of the space of battle rap, right? Some of these areas dwindling, whether it's certain leagues, certain platforms, certain league owners, certain battlers. There's dwindling areas. There's other areas that I think is like I love seeing bags and bodies, TBL, Chrome, trenches. These are areas that is just like, oh no. We pushing this back up. You know what I'm saying? But there's still a bunch of areas that are dwindled and got weaker and fell off or fell back or retired, whatever, right? And those are all very impactful. If you don't get URL back in the game operating as URL, it's a big. If you don't get King of the Dot back in the game operating as King of the Dot, it's a big thing. I don't even want to mention RB. I'm. It's not about me right now. You see what I'm saying? No, regardless of who's outside, right? So when Hitman and Mook actually happens, it's gonna be like instead of like 7 years ago or 5 years ago, where you could take it, you could put it up there, and it stays there for the next 7 months because of the energy of that alone got everybody battle rapped out. The vibe and where battle rap as an arena is today, it'll be like a temporary high. It could be like a crackhead. Like you got to keep coming back every 10 minutes because you're chasing the high. So we're gonna put Hitman and Mook, gonna put the culture up here. And in today's state, it might say, it's here. And then a month later is back here. And it's just like, now, if you can't get it back to here, if you could only take it from here and now put it back here, you see what I'm saying? It's like being here, right? And then you go boop. Like every 2 steps you take up, you take 3 down. Then you take 2 up again, and you take 3 down. Then you take 2 up again, then you take 3 down. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's also a factor that we have to pay attention to as far as the biggest battles that are left. And I'm going to go there now. So the biggest battles that are left, I'm going to freestyle this to the best of my ability. And then I'm going to come to the chat and see if y'all can help me. Hitman and Mook. Lux and Daylight. Cassidy and Rex. Easy to Block Captain versus Sue Surf. Sue Surf versus Murder Mook. Sue Surf versus Goods. Sue Surf versus Math Hoffa. K Shine versus New Jersey Twerk. Hitman Holla versus New Jersey Twerk. Loaded Lux versus Hitman. I'm going to start mixing in battles that are smaller, but we still want to see. Big K versus Av. Jazz versus Misfit. Why not? Why not? Can we finally see it? How about Hustle versus Easy? Briz versus Mook. Still. Yes, y'all will pay for it. Still. Yes, y'all will. I'm gonna look at the chat. I'm not looking over there for a reason. This is genuine. Good versus Big K. Ill Will versus Mook. That's not the first tier. Some of these I said about 3 battles that are not in the same that God tier that really does like what Hitman and Mook does. Did I miss any for Mook? For Mook, I already said Surf. I said Briz. We got him in Holla. For Lux, I said Holla. I said Daylight. Lux and B dot. A B dot return still with Lux. Yep, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. People will still watch Lux and JC. Yes, they will. Don't ask for an A Verb versus Hitman rematch. It's never gonna happen. That would be one though. All right, so I just did the Mook. I just did the Lux again. Now I'm trying to use each person and then do it that way. Hitman already said Lux. We got him and Mook. We said him and Twerk. Um Hitman versus who? Who else? That's like mega. I'm going a little blank. Let me go to Cassidy. I already said Rex. Cassidy and John would people would absolutely pay for it at this point because of all the controversy. Yes. So Cassidy definitely got minimum 2 that I think could be mega if it's promoted the right way and put together the right way. Yep, Rex and John both for Cass, absolutely. Now let me go to Surf. I said Surf and Math. I said Surf and Goods. I said Surf and Mook. I said Surf and Easy. Surf might want a Lux rematch. Are y'all here for it? I'd watch it. It's not mega to me though. I already said 2 for the ladies, right? That made sense to me. That's still big deals. Would y'all want to see Math and Diz? Probably not. I'm starting to lose. I'm losing. I said K-Shine Twerk. I said Briz and Cal. I'm losing. All right, let me come over here. All right, somebody said Hollow. I see Hollow versus Chef Trez coming up. That's a dope matchup. Did it break the internet? No, it didn't. People wanted to see the freestyle and the rebuttal factor of those two guys. It is such a great battle that we are going to get a chance to see. But I'm talking about, think about the context of the topic that I was just saying before I got into the matchups. And I don't know if Hollow has any of those right now. Can some of those still be created? Hollow is Hollow. I just don't know if Hollow has any, like, everybody stop what you're doing matchups right now. That if it was announced right now, everybody would be like, finally. I don't know if he has any of those that I'm aware of. Him and Mook had a time period. That's over. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think they care about it too much anymore. I think I've seen them both say that. Rum Nitty and T-Top rematch, I'm definitely watching it, but I'm definitely not holding my breath for it. Let me scroll up a little bit. Okay, let me scroll up a little bit. Okay. I didn't say Easy versus Rock. I'm tripping if I didn't. Yeah, that's a big one. That belongs in that top tier of battles that's still left. Somebody said, "Ooh, Hustle and Easy is great." Yeah, that would be a messy battle, a very messy battle. But y'all like mess, so Danny and Lux is yeah, yeah, yeah. I was hesitant when I read this real quick just now, but yeah. I probably do. I want Danny and Lux over Lux and JC. I don't know. I don't know at this point. Yes, I said Jazz and Misfit. Math and Lux. Did I say that? They have history, but I'm not huge on it. I absolutely am paying for it. Take my money, but I'm not begging any league to put it together. Yeah, I said B dot return with Lux, actually. That would be crazy. Yeah, Easy and Rock Hustle. Okay. Hustle and Easy would be electrifying. Clips and Mook. I'm watching it. Listen, I'm a little bit more easygoing with my battle rap pay-per-view money. Like I explained earlier. Sometimes I buy streams and I don't even watch them the day of. I'll buy a stream and I'll just tune in for the main event and I'll catch the rest of the battles if I hear that it's worth watching. I'm so busy with my time during the day and the evenings and all that. I don't consume as much battle rap as I used to. I rarely watch battle rap on YouTube these days, to be honest. Like a majority of where I watch battle rap is on somebody's stream because you are selling something that has something that I want to see. I just watch it live and then that's it. Like the Easy and Suge card. that happened recently, right? Like, of course, I bought that, and I was probably just listening to a bunch of stuff on the background in my Bluetooth. But when Easy and Shook came on, I sat down and I was like, all right, let me focus up. I put it on a big screen and I watched the battle. So clips and move. I don't care for it, to be honest. I don't care for it. Rockin' conceded. Hell no, I don't want to see. I wouldn't mind a conceded return, but nah, I'm watching it. Remember, I'm a little different where I'll still you can still get my money even though I'm about it. That's how I am. Whatever. I'll hit $50. Let me watch it. Let me check it out. A lot of fans ain't like that. A lot of fans like shit. I got better things to do with my $50. You know what I'm saying? So Will versus Serve. I don't think it has any storyline that I know about. I'm paying for it, but it's not a stop with you. Well, when Surf battles, people gonna stop. But you get what I was on when I said the first like 10 matches that I said. You guys see the direction I was going. Cal and Lux rematch. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'll take that. I don't even want to see too many rematches, to be honest. I'm not huge on this. I'm paying for it, but I'm not huge on it. Um, I think it could potentially end up. I think there's some respect that they have for each other, which is fine. There's a lot of classics between people that have respect for each other, but I don't know. I don't know. I like Big K in situations where, like, I watched Big K and Jay Murder the other day. Those I did watch them on YouTube because who they are. I'm such a fan of Big K. I'm such a bad fan of Jay Murder. Jay Murder is another guy that's like one of the guys that's been a part of that RBE front line. Sometimes I forget to say his name and Big K and his name, and I'm mad at myself for that. But because how much I fuck with Big K and Jay Murder, I tuned into their shit. And if you watch that battle, and even some of the promo leading in, Big K and Jay Murray, they had like a lot of respect for each other. I seen like a face off or a stream that they was on together. They were barely talking to each other. Everybody else was talking. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, this can't be promotion for Big K versus Jay Murder because you know what we want to see. We want to see why are you going to win, why are you going to lose, why you have a problem, why you don't, why you going to be aggressive. That's what we want to see in face offs, right? They didn't have any of that energy towards each other. And even if you pay attention to Big K's career, right, there's a reason why A Ward gets that first round in that performance. He literally didn't like him leading into the battle. He literally had like a thing. That's why Big K and Goods is it would be such a dope battle. They don't like each other. There's not beef. They don't got beef, but they don't like each other. Big K is an energy rapper. You could see him in certain rooms. If the crowd isn't giving him the energy he feels he deserves, sometimes it impacts his performance. He's an energy guy. Just pay attention to his performances. You could see it. And if you look at the Jay Murder battle, Big K was giving a good performance. Um, I think Jay Murder had a ridiculous first round, and then Big K had a dope second round. But look at Big K's energy in his third round after Jay Murder went towards the angle. I think of like Big K missing his friend's funeral or something like that. You could see Big K like a switch was hit, as if he was now it's more personal and I'm mad now. Look at the way he rapped in his third round versus the way he rapped for the first half, the first two rounds of the battle. It's night and day. I see this shit. I've been working with that man forever. You know what I'm saying? And I say all that to say, unless they get underneath each other's skin, this could be one of those. We're gonna give you a good performance, but you're gonna leave like there's no grudge, and you know what I mean? Like I like to see Hitman in front of people that are certain angles and matchups, and he has classic grudge matches for a reason. I want to see Big K when it's somebody that he has a thing with. Don't gotta be beef, it don't gotta be I hate you, but has a little history with, because he's such an energy rapper. But anyway, um Cass and Mook, they don't want to do it. The moment that the battlers are saying that we don't want to battle each other, it means something. It means something. I was talking to them about it at one point. I think they would do it. I think battle rap and people are at a place where if the money makes sense, then they will, go and perform and possibly give us a good show, but they don't want to do it. So the money got to move it first and then motivate them. And so I'm cool on Mook and Cassidy. Come on, come on, man. What are we doing here? I'm, you gotta put matchups that's within the topic that I'm talking about here about the culture not dwindling or getting certain things, and then it's just like, uh-oh, like we're taking things off the table, and it's like there's less and less for fans to be interested about. Um, so the rematch thing is just not it to me. Once you guys start putting all this Fonz versus Ill Will and this random stuff, you guys are outside of the topic. Appreciate your new point. You see what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Ruin Your Day in the building. Appreciate you, homie. I don't know if you just joined, but we might be closing out the battle rap topic. So go ahead and bring the YouTube cursor back. Rewind. Take it out of the live mode and rewind. But no, I don't care about Sirius versus Mook Neva. See, we're forcing Mook, Surf, Holla, and Cass into some matches that's just like, how about this? How it's we're reaching a little bit, and I'm paying for a lot of it, but we're reaching a little bit, and that's the point. So, I'm curious to see the impact of Hitman versus Mook, and then I want to see the ripple effect. I want to see the momentum that other leagues, TBL, Mook, Hitman, other people that's on that card. I want to see the ripple effect because that's when you're taking the culture and you have a moment that says, we're going to put it here and we're going to leave it there for 6 months or 8 months or a whole year. Because we still talking about you going to get this work. And we just seen Lux go to Howard Stern. That's what I'm talking about, people. Like, so make sure you understand the deeper topic that we kicked this off with. Hitman and Mook should take the culture and say, here, boom. And I want to see the ripple effect, right? I want to see the ripple effect of, all right, this shit really just put us all back where we need to be. The talk, the energy, the buzz, the engagement, the money, the politics, whatever. So shout out to TBL, shout out to Mook, shout out to Hitman. But all right, I hope y'all like that Calico event, promotion, battle rap, placement. I hope y'all like those, how I bundled those topics together. Drop a comment if y'all feel like I missed something. You know what I'm saying? So Jay says avocado. All right, let's move on now. Let's get to some of our conspiracy theories. And we're going to start with Tory Lanez. All right, so we did see this news come about over like the last day and a half, right? Peep this. Tory Lanez alleged prison attacker reportedly claims self-defense. All right. The prisoner who stabbed Tory Lanez has reportedly claimed that he acted in self-defense. According to TMZ, the suspect Santino Casio revealed on a phone call that he'd heard rumors the singer wanted him harmed. Casio claimed that after hearing these rumors, he saw Lanez and believed he saw a potential weapon lump in his pocket. Because of that, Casio attacked the rapper. However, he claimed that he wasn't actually trying to kill Lanez. He stabbed him in the head 4 times. He got stabbed 14 times total, right? He was trying to kill him. Okay, he had collapsed lungs, didn't he? He was trying to kill him. What are you talking about? That's just a lesson? If that's just a lesson, what the hell would try to kill him be? What the fuck? Wasn't trying to kill him. All right. It's deadly bodily wounds, dude. What are you talking about? Wasn't trying to kill him. Yeah, I mean, well, he's already in there for murder, right? So whatever. And that he himself received a stab wound to his leg, which makes him believe that the Canadian star did have a weapon after all. So who stabbed you? Are you saying it was Tory Lanez or somebody else jump in? Who stabbed you? Say it. It took one to the leg, but you don't know? All right. Casio claimed that prior to the attack, he had a good relationship with Lanez because they lived in neighboring cells at California Correctional Institution. Since being stabbed 14 times earlier this month, Tory Lanez has been relocated to a new prison, which was good for him. Soon after the incident, a nonprofit organization called Unite the People claimed that a newly unearthed testimony from bodyguard that proves Lanez is innocent is from in the 2020 shooting of Meg Thee Stallion. The organization's lead consultant, Walter Roberts, claimed he was approached by a man named Bradley James, who allegedly he was Kelsey Harris's bodyguard, who was friends with Megan and was present at the time of the shooting. Mr. James informed us He was working as the bodyguard and the driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. Said Roberts during a press conference, Mr. James informed us he was not under a non disclosure agreement and confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. So once again, the driver, he wasn't necessarily there. He wasn't there for the night in question, but he overheard Kelsey having a conversation. And we already know about this. We broke this down. Alex Spiro came out. There was another breakdown that came out. I think we covered it yesterday, of all the facts versus lies and allegate the actual things that happened in court, and the accusation and the evidence didn't look good for Tory, looked better for Meg. They fought back pretty strong. But let's talk about this alleged connection that this guy has, right? So if he's coming out speaking on a jail phone or telling people this was out of self-defense, right? I guess you got to take that at self-value. It's not like he's up there saying, yo, I did this because somebody paid me. So take it as self-value. And I feel like this guy doesn't have too many ambitions to lie, or, he's already serving life for some hyenas shit. All right. And he's already had a past of attacking inmates, right? Tory Lanez, he just happened to get into it with him and caught him 14 times. Did Tory Lanez plan on doing something to this man? Who knows? If I was this guy, I'd probably be saying that too. Hey, why'd you do this? He's not worried about getting any more years added on his sentence, right? What's he worried about? Maybe having to spend the next 6 months in a hole or some shit. Like, I don't know. So he has some reasons, I guess, to give a reason to make him not have as much punishment as he would. Right? I guess. Why did you do it? Is he supposed to just say, I felt like it? No. He's got to tell them something. He definitely didn't say because of Rock Nation, they sent me, or they paid me, they put money on my books. No. But it's okay to get a little bit into the conspiracy lane. There were links, with certain people that people began to create ties of. I think it's worth a look at. It's not worth jumping out the window for. There's a difference. So when you Google, let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. When you Google, what I type in? Santino Casio tied to Rock Nation, right? That's all I typed in. You guys see it right here up on the screen. That's all I typed in. This AI response is so funny for multiple reasons, but let's read it. The AI response says, no, Santino Casio is not tied to Rock Nation. Here's why this misconception might exist. Tory Lanez and Rock Nation, Tory Lanez, who was stabbed by Santino Casio in prison, has had public disagreements and accusations related to Rock Nation, the entertainment company founded by Jay-Z. GSN, Rock Nation, and takedown notices. Okay. There were reports of GSN, Rock Nation allegedly issuing takedown notices to bloggers and online commentators who were pushing a theory that Jay-Z, the founder of Rock Nation, was somehow involved in arranging the attack on Tory Lanez. Third, no connection to Santino Casio. This action by Rock Nation was related to protecting its reputation against the conspiracy theory and does not imply any connection between Rock Nation and Santino Casio, who was serving a life sentence for murder and has a history of violence. In summary, there's no evidence to suggest any connection between Santino Casio and Rock Nation. Now, let me tell you why I thought that this AI response was funny. AI is the present and the future. I use it. You guys should use it. It's very powerful. It's very useful. Gotta be careful how you use it, but you should use it. Okay, adopt it. Google's AI is kind of shitty. It's like light years behind ChatGPT. I rarely ask Google questions anymore unless I'm just doing it out of convenience. If you use ChatGPT enough, you realize, oh, Google, you guys have dominated the market for ages. This is a real threat. ChatGPT is killing y'all with answering questions and providing feedback. So that's actually, this is Google's response to ChatGPT, if you ask me, them doing these AI type of answers now. Okay. This answer to me, if you use enough AI, now let's get a little conspiracy theory. It just seems fishy. It just seems on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 4 as far as placed. You see my question? Santino Casio tied to Rock Nation. I didn't say did he kill did he get paid by Jay-Z? Nothing. I didn't put Jay-Z in. No, you know what I'm saying? Now AI is very, very smart and creates a lot of ties very fast. Right? The database behind AI is it's crazy. But the way that this answer came about, just I don't know why it felt weird. Did you guys hear what I read? No, Santino Casio is not tied to Rock Nation. How do you know AI? Like it just seems so. I've just done so much AI use over like the last 2 years. I just feel like I'm used to seeing a response that is more so like I can't find it, or I looked and there's no evidence that suggests that. Possibly because of this, but there's no evidence to back that. AI is does that. This seems to be so directly removing any possibility. And then people start to say, like, yo, Jay-Z is a powerful guy. And when you talk about the searchability of Jay-Z's name on the internet, he has already flexed that type of muscle. He did it with the biggest content platform in the world, YouTube. He flexed his muscle once upon a time there. I mean, every once in a while, you'll see some type of Jay-Z concert or songs or whatever go up. But Jay-Z, on at least from the hip hop space, as far as scrubbing his content, I've never seen any other big artist had the effect on YouTube scrubbing like Jay-Z did. To keep it real, I've never seen anybody else with that level of scrubbing. But anyway, this just felt a little odd to me. When I read it, I just expect my AI to be a little bit different. I'm a little experienced with AI. All right. Now, I kept scrolling. I said, all right, thank you, Google's AI. But let me see what what other people are saying. Not just Google. Let me see what other people are saying. So I scroll down. You know how people scroll on Google. If y'all don't find it in the first, second, third, or fourth shit, I'm done. You know, nobody ever goes to the second pages on Google. It is what it is. If you can't rank on the first page of Google as a business, you're dead. You're dead. You got to pay for a sponsorship to be put up top. It's just how it goes. But I scrolled down. I got to this one. How many am I in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm doing conspiracy mode for y'all. Right, 7. All right, cool. Let's check it out. And speaking of AI, has AI generated faces? Jay-Z sends legal warnings to bloggers who blame him for Tory Lanez prison stabbing. Okay. Jay-Z don't really play by his name, right? We saw what just happened to Tony Busby. We saw what happened to YouTube scrubbing. We saw what happened to Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan ain't really in the business of apologizing and taking and editing footage, is he? Piers Morgan is a major player, major platform within itself. But he brought Jaguar right up there. And what happened? Rock Nation has allegedly begun serving takedown notices to bloggers and online commentators pushing the theory that companies found that Jay-Z arranged a prison hit on rapper Tory Lanez. As we reported earlier, Lanez-born Daystar Peterson is currently serving a 10-year sentence for shooting fellow rapper Meg Thee Stallion in both feet in 2020. Last week, he was hospitalized after being violently stabbed 14 times by another inmate, Santino Casio, at a California prison. At a press conference hosted by United the People, a social justice nonprofit, legal advocates and supporters gathered to push for his release and demand a re-examination of the case. All right. Hours after Tory Lanez was hospitalization, his Instagram account released a quote or an update. We saw that. That's when they confirmed that he was stabbed. He's now breathing on his own. Okay, cool. Let's go down to this post right here. I made a post on Instagram about Desiree. Okay, you see this name come up a lot, people. Desiree. and Rock Nation being behind Tory Lanez getting stabbed. And they sent in the lawyers to get the post taken down. Okay. Photo here was removed. Let's actually just go to the post. All right. We could actually just go to it. Let's go to it. Let's try to be as thorough with this one as possible, people. Jay-Z, please. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just covering the discussions. Okay? Chill out. I don't want to be the next victim in this shit. I'm not Piers Morgan. I'm not Tony Busby. I have no power. I'm not worth an attack at all. I promise you that. But keep six solid. I mean, it is a verified Twitter. It's got 19.4 followers. Oh, look at this. It's followed by people that we know. It's followed by um Organic from King of the Dot. It's followed by Gully. Oh, keep six solid. All right. So it's Toronto. Toronto's number one hip. Okay, so that's why they follow it. And obviously Tory Lanez being from there as well. So okay. So I gotta then say this is a reputable. I'm not gonna say credible. I'm gonna say a reputable account. Okay, people fuck with this account. People fuck with these people. But he says, I made a post on Instagram about Desiree and Rock Nation being behind Tory Lanez getting stabbed, and they sent in the lawyers to get the post taken down. We removed the photo May 18, 2025. This was last week, right? Why this happened, the photo may contain something that infringes someone else's copyright, tinfoil hat or nah. This goes against the terms and services of intellectual property. Let's come over here. Email the reporter that you need to include. Include the report number. Explain to the reporter why you think your content does not use their intellectual property in an unlawful way. Tell them that if you agree, this is basically giving him, this person, the sixth person, what's the name again? Keep six solids, instructions if he wants to contest the takedown. Tell them that if they agree with you, they should follow the instructions in the email we sent them after they reported your content. The reporter contact us. Wait, whatever. The report, whatever's cut off right there. We'll put your photo back on Instagram. Until then, no one else can see it. Copy reporter name, Rock Nation LLC. Okay, so that appears to be confirmation that what we read in the article of like, yeah, Rock Nation is like, hey man, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this. I have anything to do with Tory Lanez stabbing. Rabbit hole or no? Rabbit hole people or no? Leave it alone. Continue to follow up on this or no, people. Chat. For now, we'll leave it there. I don't know. I wouldn't mind hearing Tory Lanez's response to the stabbing and what this guy is saying. Like if Tory Lanez puts out a statement, not saying that he has no motivation to lie, but if Tory Lanez comes out and says, "What do you mean this guy talking about that I was trying to kill him? What? I had something in my pot. What? I don't even know this guy. Never had a conversation with before. Like imagine Tory Lanez came out and say something like that. I never even spoke to this guy before. What are you talking about?" Everybody's saying follow up. Follow up. Rabbit hole for sure. I remember MSM says, I don't know. Depends one's interest in it. Well, let me know. Y'all let me know if the breakdown that we just did was interesting enough to say, let's keep an eye on this shit. Don't jump out of any windows, people. All right. You guys want to stay tinfoil? You guys want to, since I just opened up a whole conspiracy theory vibe, we're gonna move on, but let's stay with it. I remain within the opinion. This is why Drake's in the title, people. Drake's biggest problem is not like us. Drake's biggest problem is not is he a pedo, that narrative because of Kendrick and fans and the Grammys and the Super Bowl halftime show. No. Drake's fan base is still mega. Drake's fan base does not believe that he's a pedo. I barely believe it my damn self. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's more of a conversation to say, like, yo, is there weird activity around younger girls? Is there alleged grooming? I think that could be more of a conversation for people than putting that pedo label on any man without proof, including Drake, to be fair. So, but is that his biggest problem? I've always said I think his biggest problem is the fact that Kendrick will not let go of the XXX Tentacion shit. You know, he had that song playing in commercials that he comes out with Peekaboo on his tour and he's doing all these subs with it. The video itself, um, I mean not the video, the performances and how he's using the screens on tour during Peekaboo is very he's subbing the shit out of Drake. The way the song starts, the give a helping hand. It's still, I think, the biggest video on the Sorry It's True podcast playlist. It's like over 250,000 views. That breakdown that we did of the alleged conspiracy between XXX Tentacion and Drake. And once again, shout out to Thought Crimes. They opened up that can of worms, and then the whole internet was like, wait a minute. And I was one of the people that picked up that torch and said, I need to look deep into this and do some of my own homework. And we did what we did. But I see videos like this continuing, and this is a recent one. And I'm just like, if Drake is for bringing suits against people for damaging reputational or image or character or career damaging stuff, right? If he's willing to do that, which is well within his rights, he should be very attentive to narratives that people are pushing that could put him in jail. All right. If he goes to a show and somebody trolls him from the front row and says, "Hey, OV ho, so what? Whatever. I just picked up 10 million on this show." It's possible for Drake. Drake could do a show and make 5, 6, 7, 8. Shit, Kendrick just broke a record, just did almost 15 million one show. Drake could do big number. Like, I don't give a fuck about this fan right here. Call me an OV ho. I just made $8 million tonight. Suck dick. You know what I'm saying? That's not being put in jail though. One's freedom. So it's still going.
Drake's name has just been brought up in the XXX Tentacion murder case as a possible suspect.
And I believe the brief states that people who knew Drake were allegedly seen in XXX Tentacion's neighborhood threatening him before he died.
On November 30th of 2024, Dedrick Williams, one of the men convicted in the death of Florida rapper XXX Tentacion, filed an appeal for a new trial. But in that very same appeal, he made a shocking claim. Williams' lawyer argued in court that he hadn't properly considered a potential suspect in X's murder case, and that suspect was none other than Aubrey Drake Graham. This is just the latest twist in one of the rap game's most notorious conspiracy theories. For years, fans have speculated that Drake had a hand in the shooting that claimed X's life. Now, 6 years later, he's being named in court as being possibly involved, and Dedrick Williams' defense team is demanding a court order to force Drake to testify. Because of this breaking news, we're going to dissect the allegations that Drake may have ordered the assassination of one of the rap game's most controversial rising stars. How did Drake become enemies with X in the first place? What really happened the day that he was unalived? And how did Drake get named as a key witness in X's death? To paint a picture of the allegations against Drake, we've even combed through his lyrics to compile every single possible reference to X's murder. Has Drake really been openly bragging about ordering the unaliving of another rapper? And finally, we're going to analyze the fallout of Dedrick Williams' appeal. Is this legal maneuver going to finally expose Drake once and for all?
You put all this wild stuff on Drake, but this right here, like this kind of scares me. I ain't gonna lie.
The beef between Drake and XXX Tentacion dates back to 2017. In January of that year, underground rap fans were going crazy for an aggressive new song that was going viral on SoundCloud. The track was called Look at Me, and while it had originally been released a year earlier, it suddenly started to build up momentum and rack up serious streaming numbers. The only problem was the 17-year-old artist who recorded the song, Jassy Onfroy, aka X, was locked up in a Florida jail for assault charges. X had been recording music for 5 years, but Look at Me going viral took him to a whole nother level. Music critics quickly hopped on the trend, classifying X as a leader of a new wave of lo-fi music called SoundCloud rap. Look at Me was praised for being raw, unmastered, and totally different than anything else mainstream. X had gone from an unknown teenage rapper in Florida to an overnight sensation. But at the same time X was taking off in popularity, Drake stepped in. In February of 2017, Drake previewed a brand new song, KMT, while touring in Amsterdam. Diehard fans immediately noticed that Drake's flow and rapping on KMT was eerily similar to X's style on Look at Me.
Demon just got out of can. I gave my bro an advance.
Accusations started to fly in that Drake had swooped in and jacked X's sound right as X was starting to see his first little bit of success. X himself noted the similarities between Look at Me and KMT, and he was not happy about the comparisons. On March 29th of 2017, during his very first interview after being released from jail, X addressed the allegations that Drake stole his flow directly on Miami's 103.5 The Beat radio station.
He's not a man. I think he's that's a bit move.
X ultimately said that he respected Drake's career, labeling him a GOAT and a genius, but also called him out for trying to profit off his work.
If he would have showed that he's a hospitable person and that he's really in this shit for the culture, rather than being a nigga taking my shit, running off with it, and then putting it on his album, then he would have got my kudos, he would have got my respect. I would have let him hop on the remix, take 100% royalty rate. I would have done it.
But X was far from done. Literally the day after, on March 30th, X shot his shot at Drake's mom by tweeting, quote, "Drake's mom kinda cute, she could get it." X clearly wanted to get under Drake's skin as much as possible. While Drake didn't issue a response to these attacks, X had gone past the point of no return. By targeting Drake's mother, there was no chance that these guys were ever gonna piece it up. And all this controversy only fueled X's ascent in the rap game. As the Drake comparison circled, Look at Me climbed the Billboard charts and peaked at number 34. Look at Me ultimately charted for 20 weeks and went platinum before the end of the year. X had gone from literally jail to beefing with one of the biggest rappers in the game to becoming a platinum selling star in a matter of months. X was even labeled, quote, the most controversial man in rap. While Drake avoided addressing X directly, X made a bone-chilling post on social media a year later. In 2018, X posted on his IG story, quote, "If anyone tries to kill me, it was at Champagne Poppy, aka Drake. I'm snitching right now." The post was later deleted and X claimed that his account had been hacked. But in all reality, who really knows? And at first it sounded like X was just trolling until 3:59.
Remember, even Kanye recently trolled this year Drake about XXX Tentacion as well, right? You know, Kanye does his bipolar type of tweeting. One minute I'm saying I'm going DEFCON 3 in the morning. Next minute he's saying, "Hey, I'm done being anti-Semitic." You know, 1 second he's saying, "Drake, I want you to speak at my funeral." The next second it's saying, "Hey, Drake, I something XXX." You know what I'm saying? Remember, he implicated him in a tweet as well, right? It's Drake. Don't send me no cease and desist if Kanye could tweet that shit. Real talk. It's a big situation, man. Like, it's a big accusation, I should say. I shouldn't say situation. This is a huge accusation to have this type of legs, and Kendrick is not letting it die. He's not. He's not. He's out here performing it at halftime shows in an X. He's pushing it in commercials. He's doing it on tour. I went to the show, people. For those that didn't see my recap, I went to the Kendrick and SZA show. I saw, like, Kendrick is pushing the peekaboo shit. He really is.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 8th.
I'll say this real quick. My bad, y'all. We're going to get back to this. I'll say this real quick, too. I know Drake predicted the pedal angle coming from Kendrick, right? But that's one thing he would have never thought that Kendrick was going to go heavy on to continue with, even after the songs were done, was, dude, I know what you did last summer. Allegedly, as it pertains to XXX Tentacion, Kendrick 1000% is pushing the narrative in many different ways of Drake and XXX. Many different ways. He absolutely is. I asked y'all like months ago on a stream. So I was like, "Yo, is Kendrick snitching on Drake?" Like, like it's not the whole getting trolled thing. We're not talking about, damn, I might lose out in this UMG deal, and that's hundreds of millions of dollars allegedly that Drake and UMG is going back and forth about. But I'm pretty sure even Drake wouldn't mind not having to work with UMG again and do some mega deal with them again if that was going to be exchanged for his freedom, as it would relate to a murder conviction or a conspiracy tied into a murder conviction. And I'm not over here convicting Drake, people. I'm not, you know. This is one of the biggest rappers in the game right now that is pushing this narrative, and the whole internet is picking up on it. This ain't no little, "Oh, did you hear about this little mystery?" It's not that anymore. It's already been halftime Super Bowl show. That's why I say, Drake, fuck Not Like Us at the halftime show. What you need to concentrate on was when he put that big ass X in the middle of the field, and then they did the aerial view of it, and at the top of the X there was 2 more small X's for a total of 3 X's that he performed in. And what song did he perform? Peekaboo. You know what the fucking song, the Give a Helping Hand starting of the song? There's no more question of what Kendrick is doing. There's no more like, oh, is this what Kendrick is doing with that song is not a conspiracy at this point. It's not. The conspiracy is Drake actually involved in anything like this? But what Kendrick is trying to tell the world, that's not a conspiracy. That's right there for everybody to see. All right.
18th of 2018.
Developing right now, a search for a killer in South Florida after an up-and-coming rapper is shot dead, killed in an apparent robbery.
Just 3 months after X's fateful post on IG, tragedy struck. That day, X pulled up to a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida with his step-uncle, Leonard Kerr. After spending a half hour at the dealership, X and Kerr climbed into his BMW i8 sports car when an SUV pulled up and blocked their path. 2 armed men jumped out the SUV and rushed X's BMW, where they confronted him at gunpoint. X was punched multiple times while his step-uncle escaped. One of the gunmen snatched a Louis Vuitton duffel bag from the BMW's passenger seat that contained 50 grand in cash. One of the men opened fire on X, shooting him 3 times. X was later confirmed deceased at Broward Health North Hospital when he was only 20 years old. X's shocking death sparked an outpouring of grief. Kanye West, J. Cole, Jay-Z, Pusha T, and 2 Chainz are just some of the high-profile rappers who paid tribute to X by praising his artistry and calling out the senselessness of his shooting.
And so Kanye, you called out the how this affected you, and you also tweeted Drake subliminally about XXX, but then you want to go suck his dick again, allegedly. Right? Kanye's crazy, man. I just caught that just now. As he was saying that, he's fucking insane. And I swear, any man that Kanye launches those type of attacks on, if they go back and befriend him, they's just as much of a clown as birds of a feather. He keeps olive branching Drake. Drake is a fucking clown if he goes and fucks with Kanye ever again. I'm telling you, after all that they've done to each other or been through, Kanye went on Twitter and alluded to Drake being involved in a murder. He did the tweet involving XXX people this year. Drake, you go back and you befriend him. Kanye, with Kanye's voice, his platform, his tweets go viral every fucking day. And he tweeted that shit about you. And if you ever fuck with this man, certain hands you gotta leave there forever. You know, you don't gotta beef, but it's just like, we will never rock again, ever. It gotta be that. It got to be that. Some shit is not, you just can't fix.
His open casket memorial service was even held in the Florida Panthers Stadium with thousands of fans lining up to pay their respects. Just 2 days after X was unalived, Dedrick Williams, a 22-year-old tattoo artist, was arrested and identified as the person who planned X's robbery. Investigators determined that Williams had actually seen X in person 6 months earlier when they were visiting the same probation office in January of 2018. That's how Williams recognized X's distinctive BMW i8 while driving past the motorcycle dealership that X was shopping at. According to the cops, if X wasn't driving that car, it's unlikely Dedrick Williams would have ever spotted him and ordered the robbery. In the following weeks, police made 3 more arrests: Robert Allen, Trayvon Newsom, and Michael Boatwright, who was ultimately accused of being the triggerman behind X's death. All 4 men ended up getting charged with first-degree murder. But Dedrick Williams' lawyer threw a major curveball in the case when he claimed that the police failed to investigate a high-profile suspect.
They wanted to solve the case so quickly that they refused to listen to any other evidence that didn't comport with what they believed or what they wanted their narrative to be.
Williams' attorney, Mauricio Padilla, argued that the Broward County Sheriff's Office hadn't done their due diligence to follow all possible leads. Padilla claimed that the Sheriff's Office was still overwhelmed from the aftermath of the Parkland shooting just a year earlier. He states that the cops just didn't have the resources to properly investigate X's death. During the murder trial's opening arguments, Padilla cited X's deleted post where he claimed that Champagne Papi, aka Drake, was trying to unalive him, and he blasted the detectives for failing to follow up with Drake.
Do you think in that time span that they went and they addressed him, they talked to him? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked Drake or anybody like that? No. They never did that. So you ask yourself, how could that be?
Dedrick Williams' lawyer was basically saying that Drake was so powerful that he avoided questioning, and he wasn't entirely wrong. When Drake was subpoenaed to testify for a deposition, he and his lawyers basically ignored it. They did not even bother to show up for the scheduled date. Finally, Padilla secured a court order from a judge to require Drake to testify, and if Drake didn't, he would have to face a contempt of court charge. But when you're as famous as Drake, you also have the best lawyers that money can buy. On Valentine's Day of 2023, Drake's legal team filed to throw out the court order, claiming that it places an unreasonable and oppressive burden on him. Drake's team claimed that there wasn't any conclusive evidence to link him to X's death. That very same day, Mauricio Padilla claimed that processed servers tried to deliver the court subpoena to Drake directly, only for Drake's armed guards to physically get in the way. According to Padilla, the processed servers were barred from Drake's home in Calabasas, California, and Drake's guards actually kicked the subpoena itself down the driveway. The message was crystal clear: under no circumstances did Drake want to testify. Even crazier is that the court accepted Drake's legal defense and overlooked his security's alleged intimidation tactics. The judge accepted the motion to dismiss the order, removing Drake from the witness list. The trial continued without Drake's testimony, leading to the conviction of all four men. Dedrick Williams, Padilla's client, was sentenced to life in prison. But while Drake's lawyers insisted that he had no connection to the case, his music told an entirely different story.
When you start playing with certain people, when you start puffing on the wrong cigar, smoke will come.
Just 2 weeks after X's murder, Drake dropped his fifth studio album, Scorpion. The album was a major commercial success, breaking streaming records and selling over 732,000 copies in its debut week. But fans noticed that Drake's lyrics seemed to subtly but unmistakably reference X and his untimely death. On I'm Upset, Drake bragged about a $50,000 bounty rapping,
I'm upset. 50,000 on my head is disrespect.
Remember, when X was robbed that summer, his assailants stole $50,000 and a Louis Vuitton bag out of his BMW. Even more blatant,
SMS, triple X. That's the only time I ever shoot below the neck.
why you keep shooting if you know that nigga dead? That's the only kind of shit that gets you some respect. While you can interpret those bars as being about texting, explicit photos, some fans speculated that SMS could also stand for Send My Shooters. And the Triple X shoutout is an almost undeniable callback to X's name. In sidebar, Drake might really be the only rapper who compares sending nudes to smoking his ops. On Mob Ties, another song from the album, Drake flexes on having underworld connections, bragging about how he's sick of these niggas, hire some help, get rid of these niggas. Oh, and speaking of Louis bags, in the very same verse, he raps,
Louis bags in exchange for body bags, yeah.
in an interview on LeBron James and Maverick Carter's HBO show The Shop, Drake even spoke about how he was inspired to record Mob Ties right before the album was released. It's possible that
I ain't gonna lie. So you could always go the route of saying, come on, that's a reach. I mean, he could have wrote that lyric for a billion different things. That's a reach, right? But then you could also say, these rappers are cunning, they're intentional, they're clout chasers, they do this a million times over, they all get indicted over it a million. They love to do it. They love to sub each other. And Drake is one of the sub kings. Like, I think he kind of took that torch from Jay-Z, the people that is like, I'm rapping to you and nobody knows but me and you. Drake is one of the biggest artists to ever do that, right? Louis bags in exchange for body bags is Drake would probably say, Drake would say, like, what are you talking about? I'm just rapping. Just like you want Little Durk to tell me, like, oh no, when I was talking about stepping on Cash, it had nothing to do with FBG Cat. Like, it's like, how many times you want to take me as a fool when you write this shit? This is what y'all do. Y'all are coded. Y'all want to do placement. You want your little breadcrumbs there. You want to say your little things. You send your little shots at each other. And it's not always about murder people. They do it. They obviously have the artistic capabilities because they do it even in competition. You know, there's documentaries of Drake and Kendrick's feud going back all the way before Kendrick was even really on like that, on in the industry like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had so many shots at back and forth with each other over the years before we finally got to Control. You know, way before the battle started. I'm talking about even before you got to Control. There was a lot between Kendrick and Drake. A lot. These rappers do it all the fucking time. And then you want me to see all the shit that they do, all the shit that they write, all the shots that they take, all the placement that they do. And then you want me to get to the Louis bags in exchange for body bags. You want me to ignore that one. You want me to pull that one out and say, you've been doing this all the time, but you want to pull that one out and say, no, don't reach ARP. Make up your minds, because Durk is sitting there for it right now. Well, some of the reasons that they put on him, even though in the superseding indictment, they try to take the lyrics out, but they already brought it in the first indictment, right? Like, just asking me to be naive to say like, oh no, he meant something else. Nobody has proof, including me, but it's on the table is the point. You want me to take it off the table, then you want me to be naive, you want me to be stupid, and you want me to ignore all the times that you've done this shit.
that he stepped in the booth specifically to reference X being gunned down over a Louis bag. Pretty cold-blooded. 4 years later, Drake seems to reference X yet again. In the 2022 song On BS with 21 Savage, Drake raps,
Maybe I should do a 20. Maybe I should break that 20, do a 10.
maybe I should break that 10, do a 5. Then if it gets live, do 5 again. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Damn. Drake's math here clearly adds up to 30, and when you convert that into Roman numerals, it spells out XXX. Plus, Drake is clearly bragging about ending someone's life because they talked reckless on IG Live. It seems like a pretty barefaced call-out to all the times X slandered Drake and Drake's mom on social media. In 2023, Drake again seemed to reference X on the song Daylight.
I wasn't there when they caught the body. TPS think that I bought the body. Internet swear that I bought the body. Take more than that to go pop somebody.
While Drake's previous bars sounded like he was trying to take credit for what happened to X, this new song sounds as if he's trying to distance himself from a potential scandal. It's also worth noting that all his other X subliminals were released before the court ordered to get him deposed, but Daylight dropped after X's murderers were convicted. While some fans bought into Drake's lyrics as evidence that he had a hand in X's demise, X's former collaborators weren't so convinced. Controversial boxer Ryan Garcia tweeted on the 6th anniversary of X's death, quote, "F it, Drake killed X," before quickly deleting his post after getting backlash. X's longtime friend Ski Mask the Slum God responded to Garcia's tweet by writing, quote, "Whoever believed this stupid shit too deep in the YouTube conspiracy rabbit hole, go outside and touch some grass, money." And X's former DJ Scheme, backed up Ski while also claiming that Drake instigated those same conspiracy theories in order to bolster his street cred. Quote, "My only issue is that after my brother died, all Drake did was throw shots to look more gangster. So to wrap things up, it's still Drake." But after November 30th of 2024, Drake may be forced to finally defend his innocence in person.
So as a defense attorney, again, you have to look into any evidence that might point to your client's innocence or might point to someone else as being responsible for the crime.
After being sentenced to life in prison, Dedrick Williams, a man convicted of planning X's robbery, filed an appeal where he directly addressed the court's failure to depose Drake. Williams and his lawyer Mauricio Padilla stressed that Drake was still a key witness in the case, especially since X had implied on Instagram that Drake would be the one to unalive him. While Padilla said he's not claiming that Drake ordered a hit against X, he has emphasized the importance of a jury hearing all possible evidence. Legal experts have weighed in on Padilla's attempts to get Drake to testify and agree that it's a Hail Mary move that could move the needle by sowing doubt among jurors. If Drake's testimony introduces enough reasonable doubt, it could potentially undermine Dedrick Williams' conviction, especially if Drake's provocative lyrics are admitted as evidence. But what are the odds that Drake will finally be ordered to appear in court? At this point, the court's still weighing Dedrick Williams' appeal. It's totally possible that the judge will deny his attempt to get a new trial. But if they agree with Williams' claim that he wasn't granted a fair trial in the first place, it's very possible that Drake might have to finally answer questions under oath about his beef with XXXTentacion and address his flagrant bars on songs like Mob Ties. This whole episode is just the latest legal issue Drake has to deal with. Just weeks ago, Drake filed twin petitions against his own label UMG, alleging that they systematically defamed him and conspired to boost his arch rival Kendrick Lamar. Drake's legal findings claim that UMG and Spotify
Appreciate we don't need to go into the UMG side of things. I want to give a shout out to Rap Law. This is a 270,000 view video. You did your thing. You collected a bunch of information, put this together greatly, and narrated it great. 30,000 subscribers. Let me take a look at some of the other content. I might have
Diddy's trial is right around the corner, and
I might have to give you a subscribe right now. Hold on, let me see what else you do, and also how often you post. Let's see. Every hidden link between Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyonce. Oh shit. So if you did a good job with the Drake and the XXX one, even though a lot of this might be conspiracy, I'm pretty sure you did a bunch of good homework and put it together well. Everything you missed from first days of Diddy trial. Everything you need to know before Diddy's trial. Okay. Drake can't stay away from other men's girls. What is this one? Every single Drake diss and Kendrick Super Bowl performance. You got some sick thumbnails too. Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to you, homie. And appreciate you using the clip of the Sorry Shoot platform as well. It's all us co-promoting each other, whether we know it or not. I've gotten some co-promotion with the professor. We shout each other out, and a bunch of other podcasts and platforms. And Rap Law, shout out to you, man. I hope that people that fuck with me now begin to fuck with you, and I hope that people that fuck with you begin to fuck with me. That's how it goes, man. Let's support each other out here. I love your thumbnails, man. Your thumbnails make me want to step my game up. Your thumbnails is crazy. I don't like using AI. I'm scared to use AI though. I think people are gonna start getting sued over using AI. 50 Cent might be the first. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone there. I felt like it was a good blended topic being that we was coming off of conspiracy theory relevance when we did the Tory Lane piece. So hope y'all rock with that. Checks and balances. Let's get into some of the fun areas of the stream. Not saying that the news stuff isn't fun. It's fun for me. Hope it's fun for y'all. But let's get into some of the other stuff. Let's let our shoulders down a little bit. Let's get into some less serious lanes now at this point in the stream. Once again, shout out to Checks and Balances, man. This one's from y'all. I saw this and it did make me laugh and it made me think about some shit that we're gonna jump into. What's Cam talking about?
You know, when you was younger in the 90s and the internet, it's all internet. It's like it was frowned upon to be a hoe.
Yeah.
And they were secret hoes that they couldn't be the hoes that they wanted. And now it's not cool that, you know, I'm using the word hoe, but that's not what they would use. Influencer.
That's different, but I see where you're going.
Twerker, like, you know, yeah, this is the words they use nowadays.
Model.
Yeah, IG model. These are the new words. Pardon me if I'm still using the 90s whole words. Y'all are influencers now, and everything else y'all doing.
And Instagram model.
And Instagram models. You know, when you was younger.
Oh my God. How is Mace's and Cam's laugh a part of the show? That and pause is like just as important as the fucking topics in the news that they cover. I will continue to say they really got something unique going on, man. I love this platform. Shout out to Cam and Mace, man. The legends. Is that true? 1000 fucking percent, people. 1000%. Come on, son. What are we doing out here? What are we doing out here? I don't know how old some of y'all. Well, actually, I know the range. Once again, I pay attention to my YouTube analytics. There's not a lot of teenagers on this channel, especially now that we're migrating into podcast mode. I'll let y'all know something else real quick. Even the migration of the channel is apparent in the subscribers. I had a call last month with Quarter Lab, and they pointed it out to me. We had like a given month where we was doing a recap of the channel, and it was a month where we gained like 3,200 new subscribers and we lost like 1,900 subscribers. So that is almost a migration. Those are the people that they're like, I was only here for battle rap only. And that's part of it. That's part of the migration of the channel. You know, that's something that I knew I had to go through early on when people was like, yo, you're podcasting now. Why don't you just create a new channel? I said, no. I kind of know what I'm doing. I got some good advice as well. I'm not the microwave person. It's going to take some time to transition and make people understand, like, you know, he does a decent job at anything he puts his mind to. And I do have some content to offer from the podcasting side of things, not just from a league owner, from RBE side of things. So, you know, to see that, like, damn, I could have had another 5,000 subscribers this month, but there's that migration there. And even the teenage crop of people, I think I'm seeing on the channel. There was more teens here when you were only getting battle rap, right? Now, in recent months, especially this year, the range of age is up into the 50s now. I didn't see that many people, even in their 50s, on this channel when it was purely battle rap. You know, it's starting in the 20s mostly, and then it's moving all the way through the 50s. And I think the biggest range is like late 20s through like mid 40s as far as that demographic on his channel. So a very matured adult following in the analytics here. But anyway, that means that a lot of people that watch me can relate. Shout out to one of our members here. KXY Not says, I'm 47. Proving my fucking point. Were you here? How about this, Cass? I'm gonna wait before I continue this topic. I'm gonna wait for your next response. Did you watch this channel just from a watch time standpoint, or how many times you come to this channel more from the battle rap centric piece of this channel, or from the podcast side of this channel? Let me know. Or mixed. I'll take. Doesn't matter. I want to hear the answer. And then I'm going to get to everybody else's age in a second. I see y'all post. I'm going to bring y'all all up on the screen. But I just want to get that follow-up from KX. KX, answer that question. I be hating the lag of me to y'all. And I know y'all don't type that slow. It's the lag. Keck says, always loved your views, even when it was battle. I appreciate that, but are you here more frequently from the battle, or what is your watch time more because of the battle rap side when you was here watching all the battles, or do you find yourself like I'm there almost every day now because of the podcast from a watch time engagement standpoint? That's the question. So shout out to Keck. In the meantime, yeah, so I see KX said that he's 47. Kamal here says 32. Trauma here is 38. Big Snow here is 44. Timothy here is 38. Why is it all niggas giving their ages? None of the women is answered there. I didn't ask y'all age, but if you notice, no women put their age, y'all. Sean says he's 33. Kelson says he's 34. Karma Love says he's 34. Bearded Brick is in the building. He say 30, 34. Stop, Jay. Jay is like, I'm still 22. How long have you been 22, Jay? Nigel says he's 43. See, I told y'all. Nas Sports says 38 in the building. No Fro Cut says, no Fro, what's wrong with a Fro, kid? Says 36. Finally, somebody in their 20s. Donnie says 27. Dre here says 46. Jack Ramirez, look at this, 30, 41. Says, all right, I gotta slow this down. MSM is 41. Wow, we are an older crowd. You know what? I'm so glad about that, man. Because this piece right here is not going to be clipped. This is only for the live episode. I'm not clipping this. I'm so glad that I could say so many things that y'all are going to understand, man. I'm not talking to a bunch of kids that don't come from the era that I come from of fucking land phones and pre-internet and having to walk up to a woman and actually engage her instead of sliding some DMs. You know what I'm saying? Writing phone numbers in the club on a fucking napkin, carrying a pen with you, asking the bartender, yo, you got a pen? You got a pen? She's standing over there, man. She's about to give me her number. You got a pen? You got a pen? Who got a fuck? Why'd I leave my pen at home? Yes, I'm so glad y'all fucking come from that era with me, son. 53. I told y'all. So the age range on this channel, and especially in the analytics for like the last year of this podcast and the topics and the way that I'm very current. I'm of today's world. You see, I'm talking about what right now? Cam and Mace's podcast. I'm very current, but my experience and my time goes, I'm an 80s baby. So when I cover certain things, y'all would be like, nah, I know what A's talking about. So that's so dope. And y'all are on the same page as me and Cameron and Mace here. Hoes. I got more for y'all, but let's just do the hoes war for a second. Are they still hoes to y'all? Or are they Instagram models? Are they influencers? Right? Are we at a point in today's social media society where we are that much stereotypical of the twerking, ass waving girls on a gram, right? Because if there's a lot of Instagrams, I could pull up somebody's Instagram right now, somebody from the chat, and see other areas of substance, and I like to see some ass and some beautiful woman, just like the next man. You know what I'm saying? But I also like to see some substance. There's a bunch of pages I could go to right now. Somebody's got their graduation, or hey, I'm leaving a movie theater. Regular shit. There's still regular shit out there. Not everything is check this bikini out. How's this ass shot? Oh, look, I'm sitting on the edge of the sink. Let's plump this ass out for y'all. Y'all know how they do the one leg back. Let's do this shot for you. Look at my cleavage looking crazy today. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, if every post is that, are we at a point where, fellas, you see that and you say, ho? Or do you say influencer? And it's not a hoe, possibly a hoe, but somebody that just gets a lot of traction because she's got big titties and she knows that by now. So everybody, that's what she posts. That's what gets her likes. And that's all she posts. Because here's the thing, people. I'm mixing in a little bit of exposing / truth. Sorry, true factor. When women first got a lot of views and likes and all that shit on platforms like, let's say, MySpace and Asian Avenue and Black Planet and then Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, right? When it first started getting a lot of traction, it didn't take too long to see a lot of these women turn it into a hustle smartly. This is before the back pages and all that type of like the websites dedicated to you selling some ass or selling some pussy or whatever, right? And subscribing, like, hey, you subscribe and I'm gonna show you my other ass cheek, like, right? Before that, women started to realize that it was a hustle. And what did they do? You start to see them do 7 posts in a row, twerking, showing ass, showing bikini pictures, cleavage, big titty pictures, and all that, shaking around and all that. Great, cool, no problem. But then you would see a post come up of like a flyer, a paid ad. So they started to have all these followers, hundreds of thousands of people following them, and the hustle was paid promotion. Look, every time I post something on my Instagram, I got at least 20,000 likes, which some people are going to interpret as 20,000 eyes. So here I come along. I got this t-shirt to sell. And I see this. I only have 1,000 followers on my Instagram. Shit, I might only have 50. I might have 20. I'm over here trying to use social media to get my business off the platform, get more eyes, get more sales, get more engagement, make more people understand I got this website out here and this new business that I launched. This influencer is charging $100 to put my flyer or my t-shirt on, right? And that same ass that everybody's looking for on her page, she's got my t-shirt on now, right? Fast forward, it's still very common. We still see posts from like a Lil Meech saying, yo, hit me up for if you want paid spots. People, dude, that rapper tried to expose Big Meech for it. Like, get the fuck on. He was like, man, what's up, man? I'll post a video of me listening to your song. I'll still say allegedly, but he put out screenshots. Let's say that the shit might be fake. The screenshot might be fake, whatever. But it became a thing, right? But that started early because women was just like, shit, people want to pay me to wear their shit. This is how even the Casanova, was it Casanova? Is it Casanova? What's the name of that brand? That clothing brand that gets promoted a lot. Is it why am I saying Casanova? Is it Casanova? What the fuck is the name of it? What is the name of it that a lot of them women wear and gets promoted on especially Instagram a lot? What is the name of that shit? I'm gonna keep my eye on the chat. But this is how that stuff started, right? So I was able to pay attention to that and see that, like, all right, this girl is not Celine, Jay. This girl is shaking ass every other post, but I see that she's also hustling it. Nah, not Milano either. Damn, what the fuck is that? Y'all are killing me now. I said Casanova. Thank you, Fashion Nova. Come on, Jay. If I said Casanova, it's got to be in that lane. Bearded Brick member says Fashion Nova. Yes. And I got another member Fashion Nova. Yes. It was killing me for a second, B. Killing me. Fashion Nova. Yeah, right. This is how some of that stuff gets popular from other people that have followings wearing it and pushing it to their fan bases and to their followings, right? It's the sprawl web effect. I didn't know that this was going to become a topic. I thought we were just going to play around with words that changed. My bad. But so when I started seeing that early on, I was just like, I peeped the hustle. That's cool. I don't got no issue with it. Do your thing, ma. Get your bread. But now I see a lot of women. I could go to their page, see a ton of ass shaking and twerking and titties bouncing and all that. And I'm a man like the next man, like I said. And I might, let me see what you got going on. Okay. Nice picture, nice video. Good. I don't be sliding in DM. I'm not that guy. I just, all right, cool. All right, whatever. I keep scrolling, keep going about my day. What else? What's the next thing on my scroll mission that's going to catch my eyes? Whatever. I don't see no promo though. I don't see no hustle on it. So are we at a point in today's society where I got to say, if I scroll your wall, you got 200,000 followers. I scroll your wall and all there is you shaking ass. In today's world, am I really looking at a hoe? Is that the girl's just like, go ahead and DM me and tell me how much I'm getting flued out for? This is what Boosie is mad at. Right? It becomes a stereotype. it becomes a stereotype. Not all these women are hoes, people. No, let's be real. Let's not be stupid. It's not overreach. Don't nobody see these pictures of these girls and start saying disrespectful shit, thinking that everybody's a hoe. Not everybody's a hoe, people. Some people could just be into their bodies. You got exhibitionists out there. Some people just love the attention. Some people like to get likes. Some people are trying to model. Okay, like there's different reasons, but society is saying you're a hoe. So, ladies, be careful. And if you really got a point out of this, you mix it up a little bit. Yeah, show me some shaking ass here there. Cool. But then post the, hey, I just want to let y'all know Mission Impossible was dope. Y'all, mix it up a little bit. Make me think that there's more going on than just you showing everybody that comes across this page some ass. You know what I'm saying? Let me see a little bit more. You know what I mean? Anyway. What is this? ARP. If it looked like a duck, dressed like a duck, it must be what? You see that skit from Dave Chappelle? The nigga Dave Chappelle. He was like, he said what I just said, basically. He was like, look, you got all these women out here dressing all provocative, and you might run up on them and think you could just say anything to them or touch them or whatever. And you can't, fellas. And she's right. You can't do that. But he said, you damn sure got the outfit though, or the costume of a hoe. He said, because you run up on some girl, titties all hanging out, whatever. She goes, oh, just because I'm dressed like this doesn't mean that I'm that type of woman. He says, you know what? You're right. And he says, now what if I walk up down the street with a fucking police uniform and somebody run up on me? Officer, they just robbed my purse. I need help. He said, oh, just because I got this outfit on doesn't mean I'm a cop. Like, Chappelle is the GOAT. Pay attention, ladies. Attention is a drug. We all love to get attention. I don't want to put a picture up that gets no likes. You know what I'm saying? I put it up for a reason. I put it up for engagement. You know, like we all in different forms. You know, it could be your spouse, it could be your husband, it could be your wife. You know, like attention. We all need it in certain areas. Shit, if you got some kids, you better be giving them attention. There's nothing wrong with attention. But there's different forms of attention that somebody could seek that is detrimental to the type of person they are, what they portray, and who they really are. So that's where the word clout chase comes in. Okay. And I didn't know we were going to get into an all-out topic there. I swear I didn't, because I thought what I was going to do off of the Kim and the May shit was just go straight into words that evolved. This is just a fun topic for me, y'all. I hope that y'all enjoying it. So I brought up a couple more. Shout out to Checks and Balances once again. This is what when I see shit in Checks and Balances chat, this is how my psycho mind spins into other shit. So y'all are really the gasoline to the fire sometimes, so y'all don't even know it. Y'all put certain things in the chat and I come up here and I spin it into some old other shit and y'all just like, what the fuck? 90s versus now, how these words have evolved. Ghost, viral, salty, troll, cancel. Interesting. Okay, viral. Once upon a time, we 80s babies, some 90s people too, you hear the word viral, you get away from the person. What does your mind go now when you hear viral, right? All right, let's keep it moving. Salty. It doesn't apply to taste no more. Somebody says salty. I'm like, who's hating? Who's mad? Catfish. We're not talking about food when I hear catfish, right? And keep the people from around me. Ghost. Ghost is still ghost to me. Ghosting is a different story. Right? Lit. Yeah. You know, is it lit? What fire? I don't see no fire. that's not it anymore, B. Woke. I'm still kind of consistent with woke. Cookie. I don't know about cookie. Hallucination. I don't know about that evolving. Stream. Yeah. Stream. Troll. Yes. We ain't talking about 3 Billy Goats Gruff anymore, people. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't got to give too many disclaimers anymore. Y'all showed me y'all age literally in the chat. So I got to get too many disclaimers. How about ghetto? Oh no, this one is different. This is words and phrases you may want to think twice about using. before I even say some of these words, I know somebody in retail. They're not allowed to call people Mr. or Miss anymore. You can literally get in trouble for calling somebody Mr. or Miss. Somebody or sir. They can't use those descriptions anymore. When they greet people, when they tell, hey, sir, you need some help, they're not allowed to do that. You could literally get in trouble. You get written up at work for it. Why? Because they want everything neutralized. They want everything in the middle. They want everything, bi or what's the word for unisex, right? They want everything like that. God forbid a man dressed like a woman or trans or whatever walks in. Right, I said a man dressed like a woman. Yeah, so you think it's a woman, and you say, "Hey, good morning, miss." Right, and whatever. I'm a man. What you mean? Like, you get that person go fucking create a lawsuit in today's world. So these are something you can't say anymore in corporate America, or don't say it to people in retail. Ghetto, you ghetto, blackmail. I didn't know that blackmail is edgy now. Gypped is edgy now. Okay, because we used to say, as in getting ripped off. Oh, he tried to gyp me. I could see the cultural issue that people might have with that word now. Okay. Powwow is a problem? Yo, let's get together for a powwow. That would mean a brainstorming session, a thinking session. Is that like a Native American Indian type of issue now with powwow? Tribe. I can't say, yo, I'm rolling with my tribe. Can't say that. Same thing. Native American Indian type of thing. Savage. Why can't you say savage? Savage is too popular. Y'all better think twice about that. Like, why is there a problem with people saying savage? To sell someone down the river. Why is that a bad one? Brainstorm? Why is that a bad one? I'm gonna have to read some of these. Spooky. I think that could be with coming off a spook, right? Spook is definitely used in racial connotation sometimes. Black sheep. Shit, I've called myself a black sheep at times. I guess it's picking up a negative connotation in this world. Blindsided. Okay. Yo, he blindsided me with that information, man. But then a blind person gets offended. Okay. First world. All right. First world problem. Spirit animal. I have no clue why that's an issue. Tone deaf. Okay. I see why that's an issue. Same thing with blindsided. Grandfathered in. Why is that a problem? Grandfathered in? Lame. Why is lame a problem? What is lame tied to? What the fuck? I say lame a lot. The fuck? Casually use the term spirit animal, first world problem, or spooky. It might be time to rethink your use of these phrases. Okay. Does it have definition as to why some of these are? Yeah, some of them was coming off racist. Black male, blacklist, and black sheep. So we know those. How to break the habit of using hurtful. Everything's so sensitive. Ghetto and inner city, spooky. Everything is very sensitive now. Sold down the river. What's that one? This phrase now used to mean someone profoundly betrayed or jeopardized one's position. Yes. Directly connected with, yeah, okay. Oh, wait. It's connected to the slave trade. Wait, no, it was, yeah. The problem with it, we use it in a lot of spaces, he said. The negative connotation is hearkening back to a time when enslaved African, okay, so it's a race thing. Grandfathered in, what's that about? Modernly referred to someone or a business being exempt from new rules. And yeah, I don't have to do this because I've been here in this old format. So I don't have to take on the new shit. Dates back to the 19th century, okay, which indirectly stopped Black Americans from voting by, okay, so it was Black people. It's like, nah, man, I'm sensitive to grandfathered in now. Okay, spirit animal, yeah, wow. I guess that Cam and Mace thing just opened up a can of thoughts for me. And that's why I brought some of these up. Be careful, people. Be careful. You see, I brought DVDs on the screen yesterday of George Carlin. One that I remember George Carlin broke down as far as society getting more and more sensitive. And he did this 10, 15. He's probably been deceased for over 15 years. So he broke this type of stuff down 10, 15, maybe 20 for a lot. You know what I'm saying? A long time ago. But he did. I'm gonna butcher it. I'm not gonna do it justice at all. But he did a skit. And remember what I told you yesterday about George Carlin, if you're not familiar with him. He's a comedian, but sometimes he gets into these segments. It's not about jokes. He's just giving jewels, and people are there to hear his speech sometimes as well. And he does these genius things that sometimes leading into punchlines at the end, but he doesn't always deliver punchlines, right? He's a thinker. He's a very, very intellectual, deep thinker, out of the box thinker. George Carlin was, and he had this whole sketch that he did, and he was saying the word shell shock coming out of war, how it evolved into post-traumatic stress syndrome. So he was saying, now back in the day, you come home from war, like think about what happened to Dude in Dead Presidents, right? That's a kind of a depiction of being shell shocked. Remember, he was coming home. Who was it? Lorenz Taylor? I mean, whatever. Yeah, from Dead Presidents, and he had a job as a butcher. He's chopping up meat, regular 9 to 5 job. But sometimes even that would have flashes in his nightmares of bodies dropping while he was at war and everything. Shell shock, they would call some of that stuff. You come home, because what is shell shock? Shell shock is shock from the shell. Well, you could say shells from guns, but I believe it was more pertaining to bomb, like the shell of bombs exploding, right? So you have shock of all this shit going off around you, and you just wake up, just shocked, just the shells going off, bombs and bullets flying, shell shock, right? So George Carlin did a very, very genius breakdown that I'm about to butcher, saying these people was coming home and we called it, he said, shell shock, right? He said society got so fucking sensitive that we started calling it post-traumatic stress syndrome. And shell shock is so impactful. It's so blunt. It's so shocking to hear. Shell shock, right? When you go ahead and say we can't say that anymore because people are being offended that they're getting diagnosed with being shell shocked. Instead, you got to say he's diagnosed with post-traumatic war syndrome. And he led up to this whole punchline of like, I bet you of all the people that they stopped diagnosing and stopped helping that had these post-war issues, I bet you if you still would have called the shit shell shock, people would be paying attention. And now you got a lot of people out of here with this condition. They're not getting the help that they deserve because you've dumbed down the category or the diagnosis through society saying we're sensitive of the words. And that's my form of butchering it. This is why I say George Carlin, man, he was a genius. He's a fucking genius, man. But just an addition for y'all for the evolution of words that are sensitive in society. And if they lose their importance, it can hurt people. It's deeper than just us joking and saying ghetto or lame. Like, it's deeper than that, people. It's deeper than that. No. No. Chat says, words matter. Some of these terms justify harm if we normalize it. Easier to do harm to vermin than people. All right. Hope we having fun this morning. Hope we keeping it fun and interesting. DVDs and music. It's Sunday. Let's do it. We do it on Saturdays and Sundays, right? All right. I think the cool thing, once again, about when we do some of our movies and music is if you haven't seen it or if you haven't heard it, people say, all right, let me go check it out. And my batting average is pretty good. I don't recommend whack shit. You know, if I tell you, like, go see the movie Inception, you're not going to come back to me and saying, that shit was trash. Well, I mean, you might, but I'm like, yo, go watch the movie Heat. Trust me. Go watch Iris. If you're into mafia movies, if you like Goodfellas and Casino and Gotti and everything, you want to know what's up there that has De Niro, Pesci, Pacino, and was also done by Scorsese. Irishman. And it's just as good, people. And it has the whole story embedded of it of the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah, it's a classic. And it might be better than Goodfellas. It might be. Goodfellas, ALP, you sure? Check it out. Let me know. It might be. People don't come back with my recommendations and be like, ARP, that was trash. Nah, I'm too good. I'm too good with my movies and music, dog. I'm too good. So somebody put in the chat, Sean Harris from the chat said, our member says, shout out to Action Bronson. All right. Since I'm going to see Mission Impossible today, I figured let me pull up a Tom Cruise super dope movie. I didn't even open this one. It's still in the plastic, which means that I only bought it because I just wanted it in my collection because it's that dope a movie. What was the name of this again? The name of this was Edge of Tomorrow. I love the concept. We've seen this concept done before. It was done in Groundhog Day. Remember that movie? What's another one where they did it? What was that one that's almost like a gamer? Like a game. It was like almost simulation. But concept of somebody that dies and still wakes up. You know, like wakes up again like, oh shit, did I just die yesterday? And then they sooner or later realize like, this isn't a dream. Like I'm really dying and something's going on. I'm really waking up. Like, and this one was built around a very, very different angle. It's not no groundhog that was doing it. It wasn't no magic potion. It was like an alien invasion. And it's an action film. This shit is so dope. Live, die, repeat. You got to ask yourself, man, if you knew that you can die and wake up the next day, and it's always, that's a key factor too. It's not like, oh, I got 9 lives, so I know I could go get hit by a car and then just continue on my day. It's repeating. So you do the same day over and over again, right? What would you do if you knew that you were in that cycle? You know, like certain things, like you just stop people. You wake up next to the same person every morning and they say, good morning. You say, yeah, I know. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? Or you say it for them, you know, or they start to pour the coffee. Before they pour the coffee, you say, I don't want any coffee. And they're like, how'd you know I was about to pour you some coffee? You know, like what would you do if you knew? Like, would you be an asshole? Would you rob people? I think you'd try everything. But this one had a mission involved in it, an action mission. How do we win this war? And I keep getting a chance to do it over in a day and to break this cycle somehow. It's so dope. Tom Cruise got some classics on this belt. I can't wait to Mission Impossible later on. All right, here's a throwback. I'm going to give a disclaimer. I don't remember how good this movie is. Does it have a year of when it came out? I wouldn't be surprised if this either came out in the 80s or the early 90s. Oh, no, it says 1986. Yes. I was looking at my DVD collection for y'all this morning. I said, I remember some of this. Anybody ever see this? Let me know in the chat if you've seen this before. Extremities. Now, what I remember about this movie is it's about a woman. I think a guy came into her home. I don't remember how he got in there, whether he was invited or he broke in, but he tried to aura. And she ended up at some point getting the upper hand and turned him into her prisoner. And then like they have what's going on in the crib. She's got friends that's coming over. They have mixed feelings about what she's doing to this guy that she kind of got trapped now. And because she's on her like payback shit. Like you came in here to hurt me or to kill me or to harm me. And it's got some twists and turns from what I remember. But yeah, 1986. I don't think I watched it when it came out because I was too young to probably watch this. Maybe I don't think my mother would have let me watch this. Maybe she did. I don't know. I seen it soon. At some point, I seen the shit. Jay says looks like it's scary. I don't remember it being scary. But here we go. MSM says Extremities is classic. That's one of those good old. Oh, it is a horror. You got it as a horror. One of those good old horrors and suspense thriller makes me feel like I remember that. Suspense thriller movies. That's when movies were good. Okay, so I'm definitely on point. Mike says 86. I was 5. You might have been able to still catch it. Maybe your parents was watching and you sneaking in or whatever, sitting on the couch with them. But before I recommend this, I would say I'm gonna find some time within the next week or two to watch this my damn self. But I know I put it in my collection for a reason, and part of me just wanted to see if anybody in the chat remembered this one. So somebody put classic. Speaking of mafia movies, this is not a classic, but I think it's slept on. I don't think it's talked about enough. Black Mass. Black Mass is where was it sent? It was sent out of Boston, right? Yeah, it's based on a true story too. In the 1970s, South Boston FBI agent persuades Irish mobster James Whitney Bulger, played by Johnny Depp, to collaborate with the FBI in order to eliminate their common enemy. So somebody's in here turning into a snitch, huh? If you've seen this movie, remember the classic scene here where they're sitting at a dinner table and the guy serves I think like a spaghetti or something with meat sauce. And everybody's like, man, this is good. So he asks him, he says, yo, what did you use to make the sauce? And he's like, it's a secret. It's a family secret. He's like, come on, man. It's a family secret, man. You know, it's been in my family. It's been a tradition forever, but I know why it's good. Trust me. He's like, come on, listen, I gotta know, man. Just tell me what's in the sauce. How did you make this? He's like, all right, I'll tell you. Use a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of this over here, and boom, that's how I made it. He said, you told me it was a family secret. Yeah, you gave it up to me just like that. You give me the family secret right here after a couple questions. What will you give the feds if you're sitting down in a fucking interrogation room? I said, oh shit. He set that nigga up. I said, oh shit. That's so cold. That's one of the coldest scenes in the movie. I know sometimes I might speak spoilers. I gotta cater to the people that have seen these movies as well, people. So I'm sorry. But yeah, it's not a classic, but it's a cool one. Yeah, Black Mass is cool. And niggas laugh. Yo, he set that nigga up. I said that was some cold shit the way he did that to that man. Made him feel like his friend. Come on, man, put me on. He said, I'll tell you the secret sauce, man. He said, thought it was a family secret, you bitch ass nigga. There's a rat in the making. I said, oh, he might kill him right here at the dinner table. I said, yeah, it's slept on though. If you like mafia movies, check that out. Last but not least, on the movie side of things, not because of what happened, but because of the message of it. One of the best endings in this genre, as far as teaching people about breaking cycles. This one, just like End of Tomorrow, this one I could co-sign. I can say, if you are in the chat and you didn't see American History X, try to watch it today, tomorrow. Yeah, full co-sign on this one. Like, classic. And I appreciate this movie so much. I will not talk about the ending. But the people that have seen this, you know what I'm talking about. I see super classic. Look at this in the chat. This one, man. Breaking the cycles, if you can. If you can. And some cycles you can't break, and some cycles, even if you break, it's too late. And I'll leave it like that. Classic. All right, let's do some music real quick. I've always been a fan of speed. This right here, when I'm going to go through these CDs real quick, I'm going to say, this is Where Are They Now? Now, when you hear people say, Where Are They Now? People tend to think that that's almost like a diss. Like, he fell off, or he's not here no more. I don't mean it in that respect. I mean it as in, I fuck with these people. And if there's music that they got out that I'm not aware of, hey, somebody DM me, tweet me, let me know if I'm missing something, because I'm always on the lookout for these guys, because I just always rocked with them. Twister, one of my favorites, man. Twista. This is Kamikaze. It's a classic album. If you don't know, I was always into speed rap. I liked the tracks when Jay-Z sped up, the tracks when Nas sped up. There's a time when all rappers were trying to do like fast flow songs, at least one on their album. We know the infamous track "Rap God" by Eminem, right? It's incredible. Royce has got some sped up flows, but the best to ever do it will always be, to me, in my personal opinion, you got Twista, you got the Bone Thugs, and you got an artist by the name of T-Rock. I think those three are always the best, and even though Bone Thugs is a group, to always do speed rap. Those are the top people to me. But Twista, Kamikaze, and of course I got the Twist and the Speed Not Mobsters. Of course, this is a classic too. Adrenaline Rush. It's the Adrenaline Rush. What? We don't be knowing half the shit that they be saying. So, Twista was more easy to understand, way easier than like let's say a Busy and some of the Bone Thugs. But he was fast. He was fast. Dead Prez. Hip hop, hip hop. That song's beat is one of the best beats of all time. Track 4, Hip Hop from Dead Prez. One of the best beats of all time. Real shit. Let's get free. Where's Dead Prez, man? I need him. I need him around. Did y'all know this guy? Chicago, what up? This is Chicago, right? Cap One. Does anybody know Cap One? This album is incredible. What features does he have on this album? He's got this is one of my Chicago niggas right now. Like ARP knows Cap One. I'll do this, y'all. Jazzy Faye. Nico. Oh no, Nokio from Drew Hill. Who else is on this one? Who else? Cannabis is on here. Twista is on here. Rashana is on here. Profile is on here. Profile was R&B, right? Who else? Anybody know when I say Cap One? I could have brought up some crucial conflict for y'all, but I'm gonna chill. 3 don't know who he ever had the nerve to talk to. He has no clue what he's doing when he try to play with my name, man. This hip hop shit. Willie Devin says Cap One. You the second person I know that's really up on that. I thought I was gonna catch y'all with this one. I thought I was gonna catch y'all with Cap One. This album is incredible though. I remember that. And where are they now, man? This guy is a legend. He's a legend. AZ, man. And this is a classic album. Pieces of a Man. Pieces of a Man. I got a small story with AZ. I don't know him. I was super young. I had to be in my early 20s. Maybe I might have even been 19. No, I was in my early 20s. I had a Mercedes S500. That was always the big body Benz. It's like 20, 21, 22, something like that. And I parked my car at a parking lot that had like valets, people and everything. Midtown Manhattan. And basically in the heart of 42nd. And I was running around doing whatever. I don't even remember what I was doing, but I was running around. And I lost my wallet. That day. So I get there and I'm trying to check my car out. And I'm telling the guy, it's a cash business. There was no pay meters then, at least in that I remember. There was it wasn't a pay meter situation. You couldn't cash app somebody. Now when I pull up to valets or whatever, pull up to certain malls, roll down your window, you can cash app some of these guys, or they got these little devices. They buy, what's your cell phone number, right? And they'll text you the link that you could pay online for. So I could literally be walking out the mall, knowing that I'm about to leave in my last store, hit the link, pay, and by the time I get to the front door, my car is pulled up already. This wasn't then. It's like, if you don't got the cash, it's a wrap. And I lost my fucking wallet. And the attendant was like, hey, no cash, no car. And we just got into this big ass argument. And AZ walked up with some girl, with some chick. Beautiful girl, by the way. I remember that. And I turn around, I'm just like, oh, it's AZ. I'm like, what up, man? And he's just behind me, listening to me argue with the attendant for like 10, 15 minutes, screaming and shit. And he was wild cool. I just remember he was just like, yo, black man, what happened? Yo, what happened, man? And I'm just like, yo, this fucking piece of this nigga won't give me the keys to my fucking car. I'm like, it's parked right there. And I point to the car and you see it's a Mercedes S500. And he's like, yo, get a man his fucking car. Like, you think he lying? You think he's got that car and he can't afford to pay you this $25 that it was to park here? He's telling the truth. He lost his wallet, man. Like, let this nigga go. He didn't give me the 25. He didn't pay for it for me. But the way that concluded is AZ adding that and other people's waiting in line starting to get irate and say the same thing that AZ was saying. Like, yo, get a man his fucking car. He said he's gonna come back tomorrow and pay you. He said he worked in the area. I worked in Midtown Manhattan at the time. He said he's gonna come back tomorrow and give you the fucking money. Get that man his fucking car. Look what he driving. He's not stealing. Everybody, but he kicked it off. And then the attendant was like, all right, here's your car. I trust you to come back. And I was like, thank you, pussy. Like, I cursed him out as I took the key and I left, but I still came back. He wasn't there when I came back the next day. Somebody else was there. But I was like, I owe y'all $25. Here's your fucking money. Karma. You know, so I was going to pay the money. But, because I was telling the truth. Like, I lost my wallet. It's like, does he really like he needs to fucking make the story up? And AZ was the one that kicked it off for me to make people start to get irate at this person. Like, yeah, you treating this kid like come on, like, why are you being a piece of shit to this kid? Like, relax. People have issues out here. We want to do keep his car. Lived in fucking Staten Island. So you want me to, like, nah, give me my fucking car, nigga. Anyway. So I don't know the man, but I remember we crossed paths in that little story. If he ever watches this, he probably wouldn't even, it was just in passing in life. He probably wouldn't recognize me, but he'd probably hear the story and be like, oh shit, I do remember some situation out there with some kid screaming over his Mercedes. I got a real funny Papoose story that I don't know if I could tell. There's people that know it, that know me. I don't know if I could tell it. Maybe I will one day. I'll save it. Maybe if there's a topic that I get into, like if I bring up a Papoose CD or some shit like that, maybe I don't know, I'll save it. I know me saying that name right now, everybody's just like, nigga, get to the topic we all want you to talk about. Nah. I see it. I'm gonna leave it alone. AZ featuring Fat Joe. Everything is everything. AZ. How about AZ on a Firm album? Yeah, AZ is one of them niggas, man. He's a legend. He's a legend. All right. Shout out to everybody that rocked the whole stream. We crossed 2 hours today. We had some fun little conversations. We veered off into lanes that I didn't even think we were going to veer off into, but I love that we do that, people. That's some of the natural nature of the podcast, you know, where we're building, we're talking shit, we're having a good time. I'm not scripted, you know, checks and balances, put that camera on, clip up. I was just like, oh, this is funny. Let me pull this up on stream. And then I ended up veering off into like some 10, 15, 20 minute. It's natural. We're gonna build. Sometimes I go off of what y'all say in the chat. I catch the wrong message in the chat, and I might veer off an interesting 20-minute topic. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all really make the weekends fun for me. I look forward to doing the streams on Saturdays and Sundays. I know I'm here very, very early, Monday through Friday. Some of them don't drop right away, and I stream them to private. Some of them, a couple here and there, go members only. That's more infrequent though. And I know also if I'm cutting on the stream sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning, I know a lot of y'all is not up yet. That's not on y'all, that's on me. I just be having to get going and I'll be awake. But at least on the Saturdays and Sundays where we know we're going to be here a little bit later in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Get to have a little bit more fun. I get to do my DVDs and deeper conversations and movies with y'all. It's fun. So I gotta get to my day. And like I said, tomorrow morning when we back, I will let y'all know how Mission Impossible is. I'm not gonna clip that and drop that separately. So either catch the stream if we're live in the morning or catch the full episode when it drops later on in the day. It's gonna be one or the other. But the clips from the main topics will always continue to drop during the day, Monday through Friday. Y'all got y'all. So be safe, enjoy y'all Sunday, and I'll catch y'all bright and early.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think you still got a gun.